I thought I needed some more volume, so that's good. As you know, St. Ignatius Loyola is one of the patron saints of World Youth Day. So how appropriate it is that on our pilgrimage to Madrid, we stop here at the place where he was born. He was born of a noble family in the Tower House, called the Holy House, which I think most of you have gotten to visit, if not after Mass. He was born in that house in the year 1491. Notice that's the year before Christopher Columbus discovered America. That house is a holy place, not only because it is where he was born, but it is where he came after he was injured in a battle. He was a soldier. And at the famous battle of Pamplona, he was very seriously wounded. His leg was shattered. He was brought back here to his family home. And you can see in the Holy House the room where he was born, but also the room, which is now a chapel, where he lay for many, many months in suffering, and he was recovering. And he had these visions of a lot of glory, military glory for himself. But when he was sick and when he was recovering, he read 2 books. One was The Life of Christ, and it touched him very, very deeply. And then he read a book of the life of the saints. And that inspired him. Rather than seeking earthly glory, he looked at these saints and he said, they sought the glory of God, and that's what I want to do. We call that the conversion of St. Ignatius. Actually, it's signified because he changed his name from Indigo to Ignatius, because he was inspired by the martyr St. Ignatius of Antioch in the early 2nd century. So at the age of 30, in the year 1521, he began a new stage of his life. And others followed him, other men followed him, who wanted to do the same thing, devote their lives to the service of God. They studied hard, they went to universities in Paris, and after they were ordained, they went to Rome. They made vows of poverty, chastity, and a special vow of obedience to the Pope to go wherever the Pope needed them to go. And that was the time when the Protestant Reformation was beginning in Europe. So these first followers, they were called the Company of Jesus, the Society of Jesus. And he had great followers like Francis Xavier, another great Spanish saint, who's another patron of World Youth Day. And they wanted to go to Jerusalem, because Jerusalem was controlled by the Muslims, by the Turks. But that wasn't meant to be. They ended up instead in Rome. And that's the beginning of the Jesuit order, which did so much to fight the Protestant heresies of the time. And the Jesuits became great missionaries throughout the world, bringing the gospel of Jesus to India, to the Far East, also to North America. You know, our first saints were Jesuits. The North American martyrs, St. Isaac Jones and his companions. So the Jesuits were great missionaries as well as great teachers. But you know, it all began here, where we are. It began at this holy place where Ignatius was born and where he experienced this powerful conversion to Jesus Christ. The motto for the Jesuits, chosen by Ignatius in Latin, is Ad Maiorem Dei Gloria, all for the greater glory of God. That was his life. What a great motto. I mean, we learned during our pilgrimage to Madrid to give our lives, to do everything, not for our